Welcome to your 800 and 900 power overview and demonstration. We're going to start by looking at the control panel. So this is for the 900, which has a down operation, a power button, an emergency light, and an up button as well. So with the 900 you have 4 different speeds, which are indicated here to go slower or faster, and a battery indicator light. To deploy the chair, you bring the seat down first, giving you a good solid base. To start operating the chair, you want to release the brakes. To apply it, you press the bottom paddle. To release, you press the top. And then to let the tracks come back, you press the red foot pedal, and these automatically deploy out. The rear handles can be then pulled up, and this enables horizontal movement. And then for the top bar, you press the red bar in and then elevate to the required height, typically above your shoulder. We're then going to line the chair up with the stairs and bring the armrests down on the left and right hand side. You typically do this after the passenger is in the chair, just to give them some extra security. Now for the 4-point harness. This works by using a hook and loop system as it feeds through and shouldn't take long to fit to the chair. You can leave it fitted on. Just important to make sure that you have those L shapes facing in and not out, as we're going to feed through the lap belt. So once these are fitted on, it's important that they are roughly the same length so that you get the same amount of tension across. As you can see, I'm lining these up here. I'm going to feed through the lap belt. And then just to clip that into place, enabling the 4-point harness. So at the front there's a footrest and also a leg restraint as well. So that's fitted using the same hook and loop system there. Also, you notice at the front there are 2 extendable arms. These are used if you need assistance and enables the operator to be a little bit away from the passenger there. So when we go to use the chair on the stairs, I'm going to start by lining this up. And keeping my arm on the top right, and I'm going to use the black bar at the base here just to kick the tracks into the ground and tilt the chair back. That'll give you a point of balance. It's important not to tilt it too far back towards you, otherwise you end up embracing the weight of the passenger as well as the chair. So once we're in place here, I'm just going to choose the direction I want to maneuver, in this case down, and then commit to the movement. Once I get 2 points of contact on the stair, I stop, just in case a passenger may well be trying to reach for the railing, and you need to ask them to fold their arms in. And then by pushing down towards my toes, not forwards or backwards, we're going to descend the stairs. Now you'll notice it stops when I stop. So the moment I take my finger off the button, the chair stops moving. Once we're here, I'm going to press up just to correct the chair so that it kind of leans up so I don't have to lift the chair with the passenger in there as well. As you can see, that corrects itself there and makes it easier for me to walk towards. Now using the rear handles, I'll position the chair down. I'm just going to tilt it back here and show you some of the other features with the chair. So this is the manual override, so the red flick switch at the base there. To engage it, I flick it down. And to turn it off, I flick it up. Now the battery itself is fully detachable. It slides out and has its own on-off switch. To maintain the life of the battery, I'd always encourage it to be turned off. And you can see the power port there. Then there's a battery indicator light as well, just to tell you how much charge there is in the battery once it's detached. To apply the battery, you simply slide it in. You can optionally lock it in place. It will work without being locked in place, but we find a lot of clients like to have it secure, and you can remove the keys or keep the keys in place. The charge itself will last over 100 flights of stairs, so you've got plenty of power in the battery. And then when I'm going to use it to go up, I want that top bar just above my shoulder, because as I go up onto the stair, that top handle becomes lower to me. I'm going to give myself about a foot distance from the step, and then using the black bar at the back, I'm going to kick it back into the ground and lean it back towards me, resting the chair back onto 2 steps, and then by pushing gently down towards my toes, I press the direction of up, and I'll start moving up the stairs. Again, if I stop, it stops. If the moment I take my finger off the button, it will stop in place, as you can see here. Now, when you're coming up onto a landing, it's important once you commit to the movement, you keep moving, and you'll let the chair naturally ride forwards slightly. Now, to fold the chair away, it's important to make sure you've got the brakes applied, just so it doesn't slide away from you. And then using the rear handles, you kick the tracks back in to the chair. I then depress the red buttons on either side. This collapses the rear handles, and then by pushing that red bar in, I make sure the top handle was compressed in as much as I want it to be, and then I bring up the front armrests, and then to actually collapse the chair, I'm just going to push that red bar in with my foot and then bring the seat up towards me, and then bring the footrest up there as well. For our 800 and 900 power chair demonstration, my colleague Steve here is going to use the chair to ascend simply by pressing up on the control panel and pushing down on the black bar. Now, there is an automatic braking system which will stop the chair from moving. However, you must maintain constant pressure on the rear black bar to ensure a smoother ride when either going up or down the stairs. Important to note, the 800 is capable of supporting 440 pounds and the 900 560 pounds. We still recommend when you start using the chair for the first time, you try it with nobody in and build up the weight being used in the chair over time, so you become competent and confident when using the chair. As you can see here, Steve is going to push down on that black bar, pressing up and keeping constant contact with the chair. You can see how the automatic braking system constantly holds the chair in place, but you must maintain that contact with the black bar at the top, pushing down towards your toes. What we're going to show here is the manual override function in the chair. So there's the red switch on the underside of the battery, and as you flick that down, you can see that starts to become engaged when going down the stairs. Now, if the battery still has power and you have the manual override on, it will still work in a motorized fashion. So Steve's going to show that here by pressing up, and as that ascends the stairs, if he stops moving, the chair will start to move back down. However, if you just flick that switch back up, the lock kicks back in and the automatic braking works. So last of all, when we ascend the stairs, Steve's going to show it coming up all the way onto the landing. It's important to note you must have 56 inches of clearance on the landing to enable the chair and the operator to stand on the landing at the same time. And when descending the stairs, putting your foot on that black bar at the base, tilting it back and then pressing down. And keeping that constant pressure on the rear of the chair so you enable a smooth descent. As you can see, he uses that black bar at the top of the tracks just to ensure a smoother correction when landing the passenger onto a flat surface.